The city of Luxor sits on the shores of the Nile River in eastern Egypt. It's a city that seems as ancient as time itself. And after spending some time there, I can sum it up in one word. Magical. Luxor is a city that you could explore for months. The city of less than 500,000 people is dwarfed by the modern capital of Cairo, but it punches far above its weight in terms of historical significance. There are countless ways to plan your Luxor itinerary. Most visitors just set aside a day or two. So I'm going to show you our dawn till dusk adventure that culminated in sunset views of the Luxor Temple. Our journey to the Luxor Temple started early, like 3:30 in the morning early. We headed to the marina where we caught a boat across the Nile to the west bank. Before long, all of our dreariness was forgotten as the flames of our Luxor Sunrise Hot Air Balloon tour filled our vision. Right at 5, we achieved liftoff, and pretty soon we were soaring over all of the incredible tombs and temples that we would soon be visiting in person. I can't think of a better way to have started our journey through Luxor than that hot air balloon ride. We booked it in partnership with Viator Travel. You can read all about it on our website. While the sun was still low, we made our way to the Valley of the Kings to explore the tombs of some of Egypt's most famous pharaohs. With at least 60 tombs buried beneath the mountainous surroundings, the Valley of the Kings is one of the hottest places to visit in Luxor. And by hot, I mean there's no shade, so go early. An entrance ticket gives you access to 3 tombs, but pick wisely because not all of the tombs at the Valley of the Kings are equal. Some are richly decorated, while others aren't quite as spectacular. Ironically, the star attraction of the Valley of the Kings lies in one of those simpler tombs, the temple of the legendary King Tut the Boy King. But this temple, which was the last to be discovered, was also the only one left untouched by grave robbers, and the last to still have a royal body inside. There's no video allowed inside the tomb, but you can still take photos with your phone. The Valley of the Kings is phenomenal. It'll take you at least a couple of hours to get through it all. Not all the tombs are open all the time either, and some of them, like the tomb of King Tut, require an additional ticket. These were all handled by our partners while we were in Egypt, Traveline Egypt. We made a quick stop to see the massive Colossi of Memnon statues, which only takes a few minutes, before we made our way to the nearby temple of Queen Hatshepsut. Of all the temples in Luxor, the Temple of Queen Hatshepsut is one of the most awe-inspiring. A good match for the fascinating queen who built it. It was rare for an Egyptian king to be a woman. So rare that in many of the depictions of her, she's shown with a beard and a man's tunic. And while much of the artwork within the temple has been destroyed, it's still possible to catch glimpses of its majesty. Of course, with anything in Egypt, you have to be careful. We got had a few times by vendors who would chase down our kids and offer them something before following up with the parents and trying to get a few Egyptian pounds out of them. The temple here tended to have some of the more aggressive vendors that we saw, and it was a little bit disappointing. On the top level of Queen Hatshepsut's temple is a room with some beautiful artwork. Unfortunately, the man inside was so aggressive for tips that we had to turn around and leave without seeing them. Now, not everywhere in Egypt has this kind of aggression. In fact, the next place that we went to in Luxor, we didn't get approached once. The Karnak Temple is as majestic as they come. The entrance is lined with ram-headed sphinxes. When you enter the Karnak Temple, it's hard not to feel small. Everything inside is huge. This includes rows upon rows of columns that reach over 30 feet in height. And two massive 80-foot obelisks. Before we left the Karnak Temple, we made sure to stop by the sculpture of the giant scarab beetle. The legend is that if you walk around this beetle 7 times while thinking about your wish, it'll come true. As the sun began to sink low in the sky, it was time for the final stop on our day tour of Luxor, the beautiful Luxor Temple. Towering over the entrance to the Luxor Temple is a massive obelisk. Its twin is on display in Paris, France. It's just one of the many parts of Egypt's Luxor Temple that has been changed throughout the millennia. As we reached the main square, we found a mosque. This mosque was once a Christian church, and before that, it was an Egyptian temple. With the sun still up, we decided to head inside to take in the magnificent hieroglyphs that decorate the walls of Luxor Temple. and as the sun reached the horizon, we stepped outside to watch the light show. You can fit a lot into one day in Luxor, Egypt. If you want to find out more, check out our website and you'll find more information there. I want to give a big thank you to our partners, Travelline Egypt and Viator Travel. They made this an absolutely spectacular adventure. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button if you want to see more of our videos, and we'll see you next time on Wandering Waggers.